maybe great. I don't know. If you're not, you're having a really hard day, I'm glad you came to the reading because maybe this will help. I'm not ever trying to be hard on you guys. I just want to help you. So today's reading was inspired by people that, well, they're deceived or they're deceiving themselves. It's about people that believe somebody is their divine partner, but they're not. And even sometimes someone who believes their divine partner is their divine partner, but then they go through a trial and tribulation and then they think they're not, you know? So it's about people that are just, not following the signs, the synchronicities, the messages. So I want to help you out with that today. And later after the reading, if you guys, I'll take a few readings. I will offer my $11 cards for your particular questions, okay? So if you want to do that, you guys know to go to Cash App, all right? But let's get in to some information first about some signs that you should follow. What if someone is not your person, your divine partner? There's going to be some signs for sure to know that they're not. One is if they make you feel bad. They make you feel really yucky. That person is going to make you feel bad about yourself. This person's going to make you feel very much less than, degraded, used, and very unimportant. Okay, that this is a very, I think, intricate little clue that people miss. Because I, as a reader, and others, and I apologize if we go really fast over readings because we have a lot of information and it's difficult to express it out in readings. But I need to talk about those details because people are led astray. And I do have to say, I've read the comments and there's quite a few people that I know for a fact with my intuition and every piece of my body, they are not in a divine relationship. I know it. There's no doubt. But they don't. They believe that they are, and I'm sad for them because they're so okay with not loving themselves. They're so okay with it. So anyways, yeah, that's one of the clues, guys. If you are in a relationship and you feel absolutely like trash and terrible, period, after being with that person, seeing that person, or talking to that person, if you feel absolutely disgusted with yourself, dirty, terrible, all kinds of things, that is not the right person. If you feel you are used in any way, that is not the right person. Well, Steph, you said that in divine relationships there's problems, there's this and that as well. Yes, there is, but you're not supposed to be made to feel like trash in divine relationships. When a divine person triggers you, they do it out of love. So they may, for example, they may apologize and say, you know what, I hate to go. I hate that I can't be here, and I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry that I have to go and I can't be here. I hope you have a good day. I hope that you find happiness. You see, that departure is beautiful. It's heartfelt. They really do feel bad for leaving you alone or having to push you away or having to choose somebody else. They have feelings behind it. Their heart. You might even see tears in their eyes. Or you might notice this is really difficult for them, because it is. Whereas a toxic karmic partner would be cruel and cold. No apologies at all. And just tell you, it is what it is. Or go to hell. Or I'm sorry you found out, in a sarcastic way. Or they'll just leave and ghost you and not say a word. You know, they don't care about your feelings. They'll just disappear. They'll meet up with you, sleep with you, be with you, spend time with you, and drop off the face of the earth until they pop up again, in which they'll love bomb you, which is not heartfelt, be with you, say they're going to see you tomorrow or the next day, or they're going to reach out to you, and then they don't. Those kind of games are very karmic, and it makes that person feel degraded and like trash, like very used. I like to think of that movie, White Chicks. I know it's a comedy, but there's one part in that movie where this young girl is totally into this young guy and she's pursuing him so much. She's into him, but he's in a relationship with some terrible girl. And so she's like, oh, I'm a nice girl. I'm a good girl. I'm pretty. I'm loving. I'm kind. And she pursues this guy who's good looking and this and that, and she's hoping he'll be there at every event, and she's living her life to impress him. She buys clothes and she does this and that, and she shows up just to see him, just to impress him. And she takes scraps. So she meets up with him at the end of this little dance, and she's like, hey, I just wanted to, to say if you're available after the dance, I'd love to be together. And he's like, sure, maybe around 3, 4 a.m., if that works for you. And she's like, 3 or 4 a.m.? Why? That's, I deserve better than that. I'm not trash. I'm not garbage. I'm not a booty call. I was thinking more of a date. Like maybe you and I can get coffee after this, or we can go on a walk on the beach, or we could, go out for ice cream or whatever, an actual visiting with someone, seeing them at a decent time. When someone tries to see you in decent hours, there's a good sign they're a good person. They're not trying to take up your sleep or ruin your schedule or disrupt your life in some way, and they're not trying to keep you a secret. So when someone tries to see you at normal hours, that's a very good sign. This person in the movie did not. And, well, long story short, he said, or no, she told him, I'm not your doormat. I'm not your doormat. You can't just come and go and wipe your feet off on me and leave. I'm not a doormat. And he's like, oh, honey. Oh, honey. What would even make you think I would ever treat you that special? Rude. Total insult. He's like, you're not even good enough to be my doormat. You're not even that. You're below the doormat. See, there's the girlfriend status, wife status. Well, let's change that. There's the wife status, the girlfriend status, the side piece status, the doormat status, and you're even below that. You see, that's the levels. And she realized she was just being treated completely wrong. And why would she even want that person at all? Anyways, that is another sign, okay? So feelings, how they leave you alone, how they respect your time. How they respect your time is a very big clue about, is this a divine partner or is this just a really terrible karmic? Do I feel really bad around this person? Do I feel like trash? Does this person respect me enough to communicate with me on some level? I'm not saying that communication has to be great to be in a divine partnership. It can be sporadic and it can even take breaks. That's part of the journey, is isolation. But it's the way they do it. And like I said, usually there should be some kind of an apology or some kind of remorse, guilt in their eyes, in their energy. You would feel that they have a heart. If you're not getting any vibes that this person cares about you at all, that's the problem. Okay. I don't know. I think that's the first 2 clues. I'm trying to think of a third one right off the top of my head, and I can't at this time. Of course, the classic abuse. A divine partner is not going to abuse you. So they're not going to hit you. They're not going to spit on you. They're not going to choke you. They're not going to push you around. They're not going to degrade you. Not to your face, you know what I mean? They may talk about you behind their back, but they're not going to do all of that. So of course, if you are being physically abused by someone, that's not your divine partner. A divine person wouldn't do that. A karmic would. Okay? All right, so I think I'm good with that. I think you guys kind of get the signature here that if you are in a divine relationship, a lot of these negative traits will not show up. So the people that are talking about divine partners, there's some big problems there. I do have a problem with readers that, just people in general, forget readers, just people in general that say a divine partner is out there catching STDs, like 24/7, 365, STDs in every fucking reading. It's ridiculous. People don't do that. That's not normal. I don't know in what ghetto someone's living in that there's like Prostituteville, that there's just so much sex going around with every Tom, Dick, and Harry and Sheila out there, that there would be so many STDs constantly flowing in a relationship, but that's totally not normal. And that person needs to move. Like, get the fuck out of your city. Get the fuck out of your state. That's not fucking normal. So no, there's another sign. Your divine partner is not out there catching STDs. Okay, because a divine person respects their body. They may be into porn. They may go out to other dates, see other people. They may even go to clubs and things of that nature once in a while to enjoy themselves, but they're not the kind of people that are going to make that a lifestyle. So keep that in mind. Ted, I used to listen to a reader that I was wondering what in the world. Yeah, I'm like, what in the world? In what ghetto does that person live in? It's sad, honestly. I don't even know what little town or city that would be in, you know? But that's not normal. It's not normal, and it's certainly not divine. It's so far away from divine, it's not even on the same planet. Mostly listen for the laughs. Yeah, sometimes it's just entertainment. But if you really want to get information about your divine path and your divine partner, I'm not just speaking to you as a know-it-all or a tarot reader. I'm also speaking to you as an astrologer. I would say a beginner astrologer. I do not see myself in any shape or form up there with the masters of astrology. I'm in no way what I would even consider a master. I'm still very much a student of astrology. But from what I do know, and it's weird because I'm a woman, but I have a feminine input on astrology. I have a spiritual eye. I find I bump my heads with my astrologer teachers. I bump my heads. Even some of the women that are my astrologer teachers that are masculine-minded in astrology, which means they're very scientific. A lot of the people I bump heads with, ironically enough, are Aquarius people. A lot of astrologers tend to have Aquarius in their chart somewhere because they're scientists. Anyways, so I bump heads, and it's weird because I also have Aquarius, but I'm just an Aquarius rising in work. So when it comes to career, I can be more philosophical or scientific. But I do bump heads with them. And when I speak to astrologers, especially my teachers, and I question them about love, they're always, we don't talk about love. We don't talk about Bruno, baby. We don't talk about Bruno. Like, that's how it feels. That's how it feels for me. I'm like, no. We need to talk about Bruno. We need to talk about twin flames, soulmates. We need to talk about that. I want to see it in a chart. And it looks like I'm going to have to do a lot of work by myself. I'm kind of researching on my own here against what teachers would say is acceptable. Because a lot of these teachers today, they just don't believe in that. They don't believe in love like that. They don't believe in twin flame energy or soulmates. They don't. And the ones that believe in soulmates believe that their cat is their soulmate. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm not getting very far with my teacher. Tamika, oh, I see you have 11, girl. Okay, I'll put your name on there. So anyways, I'm kind of on my own researching these things, but I have discovered, as my student astrologer self, that there are ways to see a divine partner in your chart, and there are ways to see soulmates in your chart, the differences. There are ways to see karmics in your chart. And here's my research kind of from what I've found. For men, it's difficult because Venus represents your relationships. For gay men, it's Mars, okay? But you're going to want to look at your Venus placements because that really has a lot to say about relationships. But what about your sexual drive? Always look at Mars. I think for men and women. Again, I'm a student of astrology and this is my observation. But Mars is your determination, your drive, your sexual nature, and the things that you desire and want in this life, and the things that you seek out to conquer and achieve, because Mars is the conqueror. So when I look at karmic relationships, I do tend to look at Mars. And I see that is your turmoil. That is your stress that you're going to conquer. Those are the lessons you're going to learn. Combine that with a Rahu Ketu placement for you tropical people. That's north and south node. Although I don't recommend you study tropical because you're going to have a hard time keeping up with different divisional charts because they don't have any. But if you want to follow along as best as you can, go ahead. But anyways, there's going to be a Mars and a Rahu and Ketu combination or aspect, okay? And I know that has something to do with your karmics. And I do believe you have more than one. You don't just have one karmic. Somebody commented on my comments recently, just last night, I think, that their karmic contract was over because that karmic had died. And I don't know what Bible this person was reading it from, the karmic Bible, where this truth-telling came from that you only have one karmic and one karmic contract, but that's not the truth. There's tons of karmic contracts. Like, you have a lot, a plethora, maybe multiple handfuls of karmic experiences with people that are karmic. I mean, they're everywhere. Some are on a very intimate level and some are work level. Some are family level. You know, there's so many levels, okay, of different karmas. But anyways, you're going to see your karmic partner through Mars and the north and south node. You're going to see it. Your divine partner is definitely going to be seen in Venus. But for ladies, and astrologers in ancient times didn't give a shit about ladies. They just studied men. So we got to catch up to the times here. For women, it's Jupiter. That's the person. That would be the spouse, the husband, or father of your children. Now, if you are a lesbian, then you're going to want to look at Venus. Okay? For men, it's usually Venus all the time anyways. It's love relationship. Men and women always look to Venus. It represents love. But for men, look closely at Mars. Why? Because that is your sexual drive in nature and your sexual relationships. So you're going to want to look at that. But when you see your divine partner, I would always say Venus, but mostly Jupiter for women. Men, for a divine partner, I would steer away from Mars, even though I know that's your partner. I would look closely at Venus still, because even if you are attracted to men, you have a Venetian love towards that man, and you would feel that they are beautiful or handsome. You would feel that they are cherished and special and a jewel. So that would be Venus. So, you know, even though it's suggested widely in astrology to look at Mars there in Vedic, but focus on Venus for divine partnerships. These are my intuitions. These are my observations. These are my studies. That's just how I feel. And maybe someday, maybe in 20 years, I'll debunk some of this astrology stuff. Maybe I will come against some of these older astrologer traditional teachers of Vedic and Jyotish and talk to them. I'm not even of their culture, so it's kind of disrespectful that I come in and learn these things and try to turn it around. They hate that. They don't like that. They don't like people from the outside stepping in, learning this, and then debating it. However, the good astrologers will appreciate someone like me looking further into this and gaining more knowledge. There's always room to grow. The universe is always growing. I don't believe with astrology that you learn everything and then that's it. You're done. You're finished. Here's the diploma. You're done with astrology. I think there's always things to learn from astrology, and any astrologer should always be a student forever because they're always learning about space, the universe, the planets, the movements, and people. We are a universe inside our own bodies. Anyways, sorry I went there, but listen, guys, when you are in a divine relationship, it is seen from the chart. In my opinion, it is seen. And that's another clue. If it will help you, that's another sign, okay? And maybe just follow some of those tips, okay? Abuse is a no-no. Feeling like trash and like shit around someone is a no-no. That's not a divine partner. And you can see it in the chart. So there's 3 clues there. What you should look for when you're, you know, defining, is this person a karmic or is this person a divine partner? So I'm going to set you off on that. You guys do your own research, but I hope you follow that advice, because those are some tips that are going to help in the confusion. Because wouldn't you admit, you see a lot of comments and people say they are confused. I'm confused stuff. Tell me, is this a karmic? Is this not? I'm confused. Very confused. A lot of people are confused. I'm giving you signs. So I hope you follow them. Not to mention, the universe shows you your own signs. You have to trust your intuition. I guess that's a given. You guys know that. Synchronicities. By the way, you're destined to meet your karmics. It's not an accident. Just in case you wanted to know, well, how are we destined to meet our karmics? Well, Mars is in your chart, isn't it? Yeah, last I checked, Mars was in your chart somewhere. And that, my friends, is definitely part of your karma. And last I checked, Rahu and Ketu, the North and South Node, were in your chart. Last I checked. So, they're going to bring you up karma. Ketu's going to bring you up a lot of karma. So is Rahu. Ketu's going to bring up the past. Rahu's going to bring up what your future is supposed to be like. But I also like to think of it as debt and payment. So, again, just my observation as an astrologer. I'm a student, but no one talks about it. But I'm just going to mention my observation here. I see Ketu as a debt to pay. You owe this particular energy in this life. And Rahu is your payment. That is your payment. You must deliver that to, how do you say, take out the karma. You have to deliver that lesson. So debt, payment, that is Rahu and Ketu. Kind of, for me, I see a lot in a nutshell. So, yeah. A lot of people that feel relationships have been hell on wheels in their life tend to have Rahu and Ketu placements in the 1st and 7th house. And they do tend to have a lot of problems. He wants to be with me. It's okay.
I'm not playing James Bond alone.
Oh, okay. Oh, why don't you offer him a treat and he'll follow you? Do you have, see the goldfish crackers over there on the floor by my bed? Go ahead and grab it and offer him a goldfish cracker and he'll go.
Fine.
He just likes to be with Mom by my feet. Poor thing. He's just a good guy.
I don't like going in my room playing James Bond alone.
Okay, Dumont, go on, baby. Go on, Dumont. Go on. Good. Offer him the treats and he'll follow. And tell him good boy.
Good boy.
Yeah.
Let me get this.
I'll be done soon, baby.
Okay.
Okay, that went down the wrong tube. Mark, Mars is in my 2nd house. What does that mean? It's not just the house that matters. There's 3 things. The house, the sign, and the planet that rules that sign. Look at those 3 things, and you'll get your answer on what that means. So it's not that easy with astrology. It just isn't. You have to see house, sign, planet that rules. Okay, boom. Now we can get information. All right, so this is going to be, is this my divine masculine or not? For your questions, it's $11 on Cash App. It's $11.11 per card. Okay, it's per card. So you will get one card for your $11. Just keep that in mind. All right? And if you want to ask some questions, you can do that today with the cards, of course. But we'll do that after this reading. It's only going to be live. If you watch this video after I'm done being live, there's no more $11 things, okay? Maybe I'll do it the next time. But it's only $11 every time I'm live. I don't want to do answering questions after every video when I'm done and like putting names and stuff. I don't want to do that. You have to be live if you want your question answered. Okay, let's see what's going on. Now, if you're international, you could put a message and say, Steph, I caught this video at 9 in the morning my time. I'm across the globe. Can you still do mine? If you're international, I will. Okay? But let's go ahead and take a look at the situation. Someone's very excited for Halloween. We have a big Halloween buff here. I know I am, but I just got visions of Halloween. Fall, really. It doesn't have to be Halloween, but pumpkins, cider, the colors, decorating, things like that, the scents. Someone's really big on all of that. Uh-oh. Oh, my. All right, so this is random. Let's just see what's going on. Random. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay, so there is a situation that's ending. Obviously, it's a relationship. Obviously, it's a romantic relationship. It's over. The Tower came down. The Queen of Swords is here to slice and dice and cut it off. We're moving on here with the Six of Swords resolution. Sorry that it's not like showing. Okay, so this is it. This is over. This is coming soon to a relationship near you. So within 3 weeks, it feels like a relationship is ending. You know, it's a full moon recently, and it's about shedding. So after the full moon comes the shedding, the release, letting go. So this is that energy. It's been a waste of time in this relationship. Scorpio's involved. There is a Scorpio placement, pretty heavy. And I just want you to know there could be a Libra, a Scorpio, and a Gemini involved. This has been waiting to be finished. It's kind of late. I feel like this is late. A random other message is somebody could have had a child with somebody or gotten pregnant and they wish they didn't. Whoops, that was an accident. I never wanted to have a child with this person that I don't intend on marrying, that I don't intend on being with. Somebody is not interested in being in a relationship with somebody that they may have had a child with. Or they're telling this person, I'm breaking up with you because we're not having kids. We're not having kids. I'm sorry, it's over. I don't want any more children, or I can't have any more children, but it's over because of that. We're not having children in this life with you and me together. No more kids. So someone here might even just be ending it. So it's either an unwanted pregnancy or a no to any future pregnancy, which kind of leads to a lot of arguments and eventually a breakup. A breakup because someone lied and said they were fine not having more kids, and then later down the road they wanted them. So they led someone astray. They told them that was what they wanted and they were fine with that, hoping they could change that person's mind. But they couldn't. Never ever get into a relationship with someone that doesn't want the same things you want. And someone's learning that. This person doesn't want what I want. Why would you even go into a relationship like that? Well, there's one good quick answer. They feel there's nobody else. Which leads that person to a whole slew of other problems. But just looking at that as one problem, if you meet someone who, let's just say, wants more children, 34 years old, they know that the clock is ticking, they meet someone who's had 2 divorces, 2 other kids, 2 different babies' moms, not looking for rushing to get married, but maybe is open to marriage, but definitely said no on kids. And you meet this person and you're like, well, I only have 1 child, I would like 1 more, or I have none and I want a child. You would think if someone at least has 1 child, they wouldn't want more, but 9 times out of 10, if someone has 1, they at least want 1 more. So a lot of times people will get into a relationship thinking, okay, I'm going to be with this person. He's going to fall really in love with me. He's going to want to be putty in my hands. And even though he doesn't want more kids, we're going to make one. We're definitely going to have one. We're going to talk about it. It's going to happen. I'm going to want kids. And he's going to listen because he's going to love me at that time. And he's going to just go along with it. That's what husbands do. Wrong. This person's like, wrong. That's not what I'm going to do. I told you I didn't want that. You're not listening. So it's over. Like, it's just not happening. If you want more kids, the clock is ticking now on the family. Holy shit. You want kids right now. Go fucking find it somewhere else. I'm not giving it to you. There could also be this situation where somebody tried to trick somebody into getting pregnant. So conniving and manipulative, using their power in the relationship against them, toxic sex, which is keeping sperm and things like that and injecting it later. Toxic sex, trying to trap someone by making them think either A, you're on birth control, or B, you're just taking a shower instead of injecting it up you, but toxic. And this person was not under the impression that there was toxic sex going on and that there was a trapping going on. No. And so this person may have found out with the Tower and the Queen of Swords, found out this plan, plot, this situation about children. It's like, this is a big problem. This is a really big fucking problem. I don't want kids. We're not going to have more kids. Whatever that is. Or we can't have kids. There are some men that are with a woman that they can't have children. They're barren. And I'm so sorry for that, for those women. It's terrible. It feels like a curse on them. You know, it's just terrible. But some men just, they love you, but they want to have a family. And if you cannot give them that, what do you expect them to do? Just give up on their dream and say, okay, I don't want a family. Now, there are some men that don't really care about children. It's neither here nor there. I could have kids or I couldn't. It's not a huge deal for me. And it really doesn't bother people till they're old and on their deathbed. Then they realize, who are they going to leave everything to? Who are they going to bless? Now, you'll get those snotty, altruistic people. Oh, I'm going to give it to a charity. I'm going to give it to a neighbor. I'm going to give it to my dog, my cat, whatever the fuck. There are people that do that. But in reality, in Realityville, people do wish they had kin to leave it to and leave everything they've worked their life for. Their house, their property, their business, family pictures, you know, collectibles, those kinds of things. The bloodline is kind of important. You know, is our family name going to live on past this? Is anyone going to remember my dad, my great-grandpa? Is it just going to die with us? You know, so some people do care. And it doesn't bother them till they're old, like I said. But, you know, those can come up in relationships where it's a certain problem. However, there's plenty of people that are happy without kids, but not a lot. I mean, if we're talking about the billions of people in the world, the people without kids might be like a very small percentage in the single digits. that are actually happy without children. It's small. Usually they're wealthy and they've enjoyed their life how they've wanted it. They may have some regrets at the end, but it's a very small percentage. It's not natural. However, like I said, this is coming up in this relationship. It's a big problem. Children are a problem. Age factor may be a problem. Okay? Someone's not thrilled about this. And maybe someone's saying, hey, no, we can't have kids because you're of that age where I think it's a high risk. I've known a lot of women that have children in their 40s. A lot of women, believe it or not. I know of like 10 right now off the top of my head. I know at least 10 women, friends of mine and just on Facebook, that have had children in their 40s. You look at movie stars. A lot of them have had children in their 40s. But they freeze their eggs most of the time. They freeze them. They do some kind of, injection later. So if you want to freeze your eggs, probably now is a good time if you want to have kids later. But if you don't have the money to freeze eggs and go through that kind of a process, having children past the age of 35, and unless doctors can change that statement, is dangerous. It's not good. It's not bad, but it's not the healthiest option. And doctors will tell you there's a high risk for death of mother and infant. There's a high risk in getting diabetes. There's high risks in having a child with Down syndrome because your egg is older. Your eggs are older. And some parts of them may have died. There's certain cells that are just not live and vibrant. So it's faded, So the quality it's not a guarantee, but there's a higher chance that there may be some issues. So anyways, I'm not trying to downplay having children at an older age. I'm just saying there's issues. And a lot of men and women even out there will say, I don't want to go that route past the age of 35. And at the very least, past the age of 40. A lot of people, men and women, will say past the age of 40 years old, I don't want to have more children. It's a risk. Plus, we're going to be older by the time this kid is a certain age. I don't want to go that route. I want to enjoy life. I want to think about retirement. I want to do other things. I don't want to be stuck in this with a child, So that's something to think about. But there's a lot of people that love children, and I'm not saying that it's not an option. I'm just saying it's not common. Ted comment here. I'm old, I have no kids, don't particularly want kids. Cancer can't have kids, and I think maybe the karmic is going to realize he does want kids, and that might be my saving grace. Yeah, and Ted, it sounds like you and this person are great for each other. You don't really want kids, and she can't. So, great match right there. It really is compatible. TQ, I know younger people with issues when it comes to childbirth than older women. Okay, and that's also another factor. Yeah, there could be some younger women with some childbirth issues. Although I would say it's not as common as older women. I would love doctors to look at those numbers again. These facts have been around since, the 50s? Maybe things have changed. Maybe with new medicine and women being healthier and more fit and vibrant and, feeling younger at a later age made a difference. Maybe, and this is what a lot of new scientists believe, that if your body thinks it's a specific age, it acts as if it's a specific age. It doesn't matter the actual age of yourself. It's the body's age. And that could play a factor, a big factor. I think that plays the biggest factor. But in general, just in general, the general consensus is kids after the age of 35 is not best suited. For example, like surrogates, they do not prefer to have surrogate mothers past the age of 35 because they know the issues that could happen. And they allow surrogacy up to the age of 39. Yeah, And then past 40, I think it's a no. You can't be a surrogate anymore. Unless it's your mom and it's a family affair, you know. But past the age of 39 for surrogacy, it's just not a thing for those risks. But who knows? Maybe medical things will change. But I just see that if someone is, you know, in their 40s and above, even over 35, there could be a situation about children that rose up and it caused someone to be upset, highly upset, because they really expected and hoped to have children. And sometimes people get in relationships and they wait years to have kids. And then somebody says, you know what, I really don't want them. And they feel they've wasted their youth, and they can become bitter, resentful, and angry. And that could be a lot of the issue here too, is time has been wasted in this relationship. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse also. Both herald Virgo and both talk about wasted time. And if you've ever been in a relationship where you feel they've wasted your youth, you'll know what I'm talking about. And somebody may feel that way. Let me get down to read this comment a little bit better. Let's see, Elizabeth, I didn't start having children until I was 35. Oh, girl. And then at 40, ooh. And pregnant with my 3 children, I told my gynecologist it wasn't funny. Girl, I didn't know that. You look so young. I didn't start having my children until I was 35. And then at 40, even, what? Let's see this. On 3 different birth controls, I still got pregnant with my 3 children. Do you have Rahu in the 5th house, Elizabeth? That's awesome. Yeah. There are those unique circumstances. Like I said, you, even with surrogacy, 39 to 40, well, 35 to 39 is still what they would accept for carrying a baby. It's a risk, but not that risky. But after 40, it certainly is a high risk. Rahu is in your 10th. Okay. So Ketu's in your 4th, which is mother and children. Home. Interesting. Did you have cesareans? Did you have a cesarean or surgeries? Medical situations in the womb? I would wonder about that. Because with Ketu there, it represents a knife. And the 4th house kind of represents the womb and the mother. I think there would be some situations there. I mean, not terrible, but some scares. Definitely some scares, but multiple. Ketu is multiples. So I could see how there could be some surprises there. All right. Sorry, we're going to keep... I don't know why this reading just went to children. Maybe this reading is about children. I mean, seriously, maybe someone here is like, children is the order of the day here in this situation. I'm picking up on someone who it is. That is what the situation is. Look, all I can say is there's a lot of arguments at home here in a relationship about babies. And maybe it's because somebody had a child with somebody else. There could be that other situation with these cards out. You know, the Queen of Swords is like, this tower came down, lightning struck, you had a child with somebody else. And you broke our relationship vows and ties. You know? Now this person feels on high alert and vengeful with the 3 of Wands, making decisions to leave the relationship. You know, if somebody found out there was a secret love child, they're leaving the relationship. 6 of Swords, they're on their way out the door. They see this as a toxic situation, and now's the perfect time to leave. They couldn't be a better time. I've wasted so much time, but at least I'm out now. And besides that, like I said, somebody else, 4444 on the clock, wanted children, but the other didn't. And somebody here really thought if I put enough time and energy into this relationship, they'll change their mind. But they didn't. Or maybe it's just Tower. Somebody wants kids. They didn't before, but now they do. TQ, I'm almost 40 and I'm about to start dating because I want more babies, at least one more. I think that's very, very important for women to notate. You have an expiration date. Men don't. Men that waste our fucking time are ridiculous. They're fucking ridiculous. Men can go make babies till they're 100 years old. It's kind of not fair how nature selected it that way. But it is what it is. Take it up with Mother Nature. But for the women out there, these good mothers that want babies, they want children, don't put it off because of a man. I've known a lot of girls who have met men in their mid-30s and wasted maybe even a decade, sometimes 2 decades on a man that never gave them a child or marriage. And then when they were older, they discarded them for a younger model, a younger version, or just discarded them altogether. And guess what? They get to go start fresh. They get to start a new life. They get to take someone's youth and not even bat an eye about it. And then these poor women are crying childless, husbandless, youthless. Not useless, youthless. Looking back and thinking, this is fucked up. How could I be so stupid? How could I have wasted so much fucking time? Now they're looking at their ex. These are the women that go crazy and want to fucking murder people. Aaron Miller, I see you're 11. And then they watch their husband or their ex or spouse, whatever, go off with a 20 years, 10 years younger chick, and then they go have a baby. It's pretty harsh, but it happens. So I've seen people be heartbroken. I also have someone that I know that I care about a lot. And she had one child. And she loves and dotes on this one child so much. It's her world. And she really wanted to have another child, but she put career first. She went to school, she worked, she felt like financially she couldn't do it. Her parents would say, oh, you're having such a hard time with one, you can't imagine two. Don't do that to yourself. Don't go have another one. You're not married. She was divorced, by the way. She had a child with somebody she was married to, and she got divorced, but she wanted more children. She was pretty young. She was just in her early 30s, and she waited, and she waited, and she was focused on career and other things, and then she met someone, an old flame, and they started seeing each other, and they saw each other consistently for 8 years. 8 years. And he never committed. He never moved in. He never proposed. He gave her false hope. Every year was false hope. She hung on. She hung on for dear life. She loved that man so much. And her clock was ticking. Yep, it was ticking. And she got to a place where she couldn't anymore with that person because the relationship was in a bad place, and she never got to bring that topic up. And then almost another decades later, she wanted to have kids. And this was in her like late 30s, early 40s. And nope, didn't happen. She started seeing him again. No, and by this time her child was older, a teen. And she was like, is this gap too big between kids? And I really don't have a partner. to have a kid with. And she was too scared to do IVF or go get, artificially inseminated, which I think she should have. But she wanted to do it with a partner. She wanted to do it with a husband. She wanted a father in the picture. And I felt so bad for her. And I think she's still able to have kids. But I think now she's in her late 40s. Yes, men, women can still have children in their 40s. It's not suggested. It's not suggested, but they can. They definitely can. So men that think, oh, women can't have kids after 35, bullshit. It's just not medically suggested. There's a lot of diabetes. There's a lot of risk. There's hypoglycemia. There's just all kinds of shit. But they can get pregnant. That's for sure. So, even if she's near 50, she can still have kids as long as she hasn't, gone through menopause. Now, I do believe she's premenopausal, so her periods are not super regular. She knows she's reaching the final stages. If she ever wants to have a kid, now's the time. But again, the fear that there's no father, the fear that she's going to do it alone. My thing to women is this: if you want more children and you know that your clock is ticking and you want to give birth, you want to have your own child, then you need to do it when you feel like you want to do it. Fuck the men, I'm sorry. I know we need men and we need husbands and we need fathers, but there's a lot of ladies out there that you are strong and independent and you can do it. And if you want children, you should. Even if it's artificial insemination, you should, because those are your precious years to have your own family, to make your family, to love, to nurture, to dote, to have grandchildren in the future, to have that connection at home. And I think you should do it. I don't think you should worry about society or what your parents would say or friends or anybody else. And I think a good movie for you to watch would be Backup Plan with Jennifer Lopez. And it is about an older woman. She wasn't that old, though, in the movie. She was like 37 in the movie. She was still young. In my opinion, she was still young. Not her physical, like, literal age, but I mean the person in the movie. Not literally J-Lo and her age, but the person she was playing. That's what I'm trying to say. The character. The character was like 35, 37. And so she never had anybody. She wanted a child, so she got artificially inseminated. And I think if women are successful, then do it. Do it. And you know what? She ended up meeting someone anyways. While she was pregnant, you never know. He loved her. She had twins. He accepted those twins as his own. I mean, I know it's like a fairy tale story, but it's a story, and it gives hope. There are men out there like that, hopefully good ones. And then at the end of the movie, what? They find out a little surprise with themselves, So there's stories. It happens. It happens. But my point is, ladies, if you want to have a child and the other person is not coming through, fuck it. Make other plans. This is your life. They get to waste your time and walk away. And they get to start over with somebody much younger and then maybe go have a child. Maybe a few. And you've missed out. So I suggest it. Because there's women out there that would love to be a mother. And you can't wait to be a mother. But if you're going to wait on a guy to figure that out, you could be waiting forever. And miss your chance. Anyways, so the person that I'm reading for feels like they have missed their opportunity. They feel like the tower came down, ripped out their hopes and their dreams, everything they were hoping for, all their wish fulfillment, their desires of a family, ripped away, gone, because this person doesn't fucking want it. They are being Queen of Swords with them, cold as fuck. And they know that person's going to leave. Three of Wands, they're out the door halfway. They've got 1 foot out the door. They're on their way fucking out. Six of Swords. They're leaving this situation onto somebody else. The Lover's card in reverse. So see, they're going to go out there and go be with another person. Maybe they already are. Is it wasted time? Yeah. Can you still do something with your life? Yes, I hope you still have time. Knight of Cups is here. There is somebody else out there. A water sign, not an air sign. Not this toxic Scorpio, but maybe somebody else. Maybe a Gemini. TD, you want to do 5 cards? Okay, hun. All right. Yeah, we can do that. I think I only have 3 people. Tamika. Aaron. And then TD. So I only have 3 people. Yeah. I'm going to go up because some fucking person decided to get a refund on a reading. They didn't have patience. And even though it's no returns, I just let it go. I just refunded him because I'm too stressed out with my car stolen. Apparently that person probably doesn't even follow me and doesn't give a fuck. But they didn't give a fuck what happened last week. Didn't give a fuck. So they fucked me over. Now I'm in the negative in my bank account. Can you believe that? I know. Saturn's kicking my ass right now, honestly. Probably is kicking my ass. My car, then that. So here I am in the negative. It's you don't even want to know. You don't want to know the fucking bullshit. But now is not the time to be in the negative, right? I've been manifesting positivity, and I'm going to recover my car. It's going to be found eventually. The insurance company will take care of things, and eventually here I will get back on track and probably be even better than when I started. So that's how it is. There is one rule that I'm enforcing on people that get refunds, and that is I'll never read for you again. So anyone that has a refund, there will be no future purchases and no reordering of other readings. Because if you don't read the contract and sign it and listen, I'm sorry. I don't want to do business with you. I'm sorry that I'm late. I'm sorry that I take forever. I have a lot of clients. I'm very good at what I do. I'm legit. I'm a real psychic. I'm a real reader. I'm not one of those readers that have fun with this and use it as a little tool. And I don't legitly intuitively read someone. I'm not just doing it for that. I have my credentials. So I'm sorry that I have a lot going on, and I'm sorry that I have a lot of clients, and I'm sorry that I'm late, but it's always worth it. And I believe in divine timing, and I believe the universe knows what it's doing. So if someone leaves, gets a refund, I'm not supposed to read for them anyways. They're off on some journey. They're not ready to hear what they need to hear. They're not ready. So I believe the universe takes them out of my energy for a reason. And I believe the people that are waiting for their reading deserve it. And I believe that it will come to them when it needs to come to them at the right time on their journey. So I believe that. And for everyone that pays first, they're in line. But it's like if you get a refund or you stop or whatever, you get back to the back of the line. And at this point, I'm not even redoing a reading for anyone. Everyone that previously paid and is waiting is first. And if they want to get out of their spot in line, they're not going to come back in. So that's just how I feel. Eventually, I will probably be public someday. I mean, I feel it's going that way. I like to hide. I don't even like to show my face on camera. I like to just be low key. But I feel like if I really put myself out there publicly, even in my city and with other people that approach me, and I feel that there's a very good possibility I could become more well-known as a psychic and reader, and even travel, and even a little bit more well-known as an astrologer. Maybe not in every community in the world, but in the tarot community and astrology, I may in the future become renowned, and I see it in my chart. The sun is there in the 10th house. I'm meant to have fame at some point in my life. And as far as my knowledge on the subject, Jupiter there is very prominent. And I feel like later in life that will come. But I'm hiding right now. I don't want to do that. But I feel like people that have done me wrong in the years past with readings with me are going to regret it. They're going to regret it because they're going to see me bigger someday and wish they can come get a reading from me. And I don't like to hold grudges, but maybe I'll say yes, but I think I'm just going to say no. And those people are going to be begrudged, butthurt, but it is what it is. Lessons learned. Anyways, we're going to keep going. I'm not trying to be full of myself here. I'm just being honest with you. I am an honest person, so. Anyways. TD, yes, you're my moderator. I know you well. Of course I'll take the payment tomorrow. TQ, of course I will. I'll do you today, girl, and you pay tomorrow. I always trust my moderators, of course. I know you. Trust you. Hey, Sunval, I will see you guys later. I'm driving. I love you all. Sunval, everybody wish Sunval love and peace and happiness and safety while she's on the road. Bye, Sun. We love you. Focus on driving. Thank you for coming in and saying hi. I miss you. You're beautiful. Look at your beautiful hair in your picture. I'll see you later, girl. Be safe. Well, anyways, on this reading, guys, I'm telling you, there is someone here that is upset about children. And whether this has been talked about in the relationship or it hasn't, it's an underlying issue. Sometimes people pick fights and argue when the real issue is this child issue. It's like there's either a secret love child, there's either a lack of children, there's I want children but we're not having it, there's wasted time in this relationship, my biological clock is ticking. There's a lot of underlying upset energy in the relationship. And it's like if there's a fight picked, and it could be about money, it could be about work, it could be about some other shit. Really, the real underlying issue is this. And it's like somebody needs to face the facts and admit that truth to themselves with the Queen of Swords. They need to get honest with themselves. What is the real issue? What is the honest issue? What is it? And it's like, get real with yourself. Look inside. Tell yourself the real reasons you're upset. Admit it. Let the tower fall where it may fall. This relationship can't continue because the Seven of Pentacles is here in reverse. Anytime you put into this relationship, it's lost. And honestly, that's what you see with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Let's learn about that. The Seven of Pentacles represents Virgo, the harvest, right now, September, okay? It represents all the time and energy the farmer used to make that harvest. Tilling the soil, toil and labor, enriching the soil, planting the seeds, watering it, being patient, giving it time, letting the sun and time grow the crop, okay? So he can come in and harvest it. Now, sometimes in September, right, the harvest didn't come. Sometimes your harvest isn't what you thought it would be. Maybe you've got 5 tomatoes on your plant and you thought you'd have 50. I find it funny with peach trees. It's like they go through every 3-year cycle. You don't even get peaches every year. Can you believe that? If you have a peach tree, you don't even get peach trees every year. So, And then some years you'll get a few peaches. And some years you'll get more peaches than you even know what to fucking do with. My grandma had a peach tree, so I know. And we ended up giving them away to neighbors. We're like, take peaches. Everyone, peaches for everyone. Here's a peach. You have a peach. You have a peach. You have a bowl of peaches. Just take the fucking peaches. Because there's more coming out, and I don't want them to go bad. So you never know. But in this particular card, when it's in reverse, it's like the peaches didn't come. Or there's very few peaches. And it's like, if you sit there and watch the peach tree in September, and you're like, come on, bring me another peach. Get me some more peaches. They're not coming, dude. They're not coming. All right? You're going to have to wait till next year and check it out. Do some trimming on the tree, whatever. Say goodbye to the fucking harvest. If you sit there and watch the peach tree till October, you're not going to get any more peaches. The fucking season came and went. It's gone. There's no more waiting. And that's the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So anyways, whoever's in this relationship, it's like the harvest is over. Whatever you were going to get out of this relationship, you got. And if you're not happy with the results, there's nothing better coming out of it. Nothing good and extra is coming out of this relationship. And this person's like, Stephanie, I expected more. Three of Wands. I expected fucking more. I counted on more. Well, honey, you wasted your time. Eight of Pentacles in reverse is you wasted your fucking time. And think about hard work and effort and focus. Day in, day out, check in, check out. You are signing up for a relationship that is very mundane. It's the same every day, every week. It's very routine. You know what to expect. You think of the Eight of Pentacles. He's actually a watchmaker. Or he fixes watches too, I don't know. But I picked him for the picture. And I put the flower of life in the pentacle because he's creating life. He's like God. I thought of him as God, the creator. And he's very detail-oriented. And he has a lot of patience, and he creates so intricately. And so this clockmaker, this watchmaker, is sitting here like turning very tiny little pieces of the watch to make it work. All these tiny little mechanisms just to make the little watch work. And so he's very intricate. I can't talk. I literally can't talk. I'm sorry. Intricate. Whatever. Fuck. And he needs these special glasses with like magnifying glass, whatever, to look deeper into it. And so he's skilled. He has a skill. He's very good at it. He's probably the best. And you can count on him. You can count on him like clockwork, which is, again, a little insight on why I picked this image for Eight of Pentacles. You can depend on this person like clockwork. At this specific time every day, they will be there. They will be there at work, or they will be at home, or they will have this schedule. This is very Virgo because they are schedule and detail-oriented people. Very rarely do they go off their schedule. So when it's in reverse, there's some unexpected behavior. Somebody is off schedule. Something's not right. Something went haywire here. Somebody's not coming home when they normally come home. Somebody's not going to bed when they normally go to bed. Somebody's not as affectionate as they normally are affectionate at specific times. Let's just go ahead and say it's safe to say that somebody's off beat, off schedule, and this is not normal. And the Queen of Swords is well aware of it. She's like, something is fucking off. What are you doing and where have you been? Is there another woman? Is there another man? The answer is yes. Yes. Yes, there's another woman or there's another man. You bet your ass there is. Page of Wands in the reverse. This is a secret. I didn't mean to do it, but I did it. I didn't really want to be this person, but I'm this person. King of Swords in reverse. I've lied to you, my queen. I've lied. I've been unfaithful. I've been untrue. I have kept secrets from you. I've been devious. There is some devious lies and secrets. Let's just go ahead and say just full out deception. Deception and lies. Which leads to, wow, holy shit, a Three of Swords, the broken heart. You broke my heart. You saw somebody else. Yeah, I did. I saw somebody else. And I'm going to go to them, the Lovers in reverse. You didn't expect this, but it's happening with the Tower. I'm going to move on. Six of Swords. I'm moving on with somebody else. It's over. This is crushing. This is heartbreaking. Because this person feels they've wasted their youth and they've wasted years in this relationship. This person is saying, do you know the sacrifices I've made to be in this relationship with you? I hate to bring it up, but I see Diary of a Mad Black Woman. She supported her man when they were broke through college. She gave up her career so she could be the perfect housewife and support his career, cook him good meals, take care of his home, love his family, be with him at every event, cheer him on, be a cheerleader. And then at the end of the fucking day, at the end of the road, here we go again, a middle-aged woman, near her expiration date of even being able to have children, or at least the high risk rate, this mad black woman, right? Her marriage is over. And he chooses a younger woman. An Asian woman at that, or a white and Asian woman. And to top that cherry on the cake, he has 2 kids with her. She gave up life to be with him. They didn't have children because he probably already knew he was making children somewhere else. So he decided to tell her it's not the right time. So she held off on having children. And the stress that she went through in that marriage put her body through hell to where she had miscarriages. So she lost babies with that man. And then he goes and makes babies with somebody else. And I think for her, that was the most heartbreaking. It wasn't the money as much or the house as much as it was you made babies with somebody else. That is the ultimate betrayal. Hello, 3 Swords. But that is why the movie is as terrible as it is. So I see that here where somebody's like, you cheated. You gave somebody else what you were supposed to give me. You broke your promises. You rejected me, 4 of Cups. And you went and celebrated with somebody else. Ooh, a Queen of Pentacles. Could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But this person is a business owner or a CEO or a manager or a boss. This person may own property. This person is beautiful or handsome. This person is maybe older, more mature, or at least just a very mature person in life. They've achieved quite a bit. This person is a nurturer and a caregiver. So we have someone who's bitter and upset saying, you went and celebrated with the Queen of Pentacles, another person that can give life. And 3 of Cups is baby celebrations, birth announcements, weddings, all that good shit. So you're over there celebrating with this person, having a new beginning with the Fool card. Of course that breaks this person's heart. Of course it does. So the Queen of Swords is like, this is unbelievable. This is the official Tower. I cannot believe this person is doing this to me. After all I've given him or her, after all I've sacrificed, all the years that I have dedicated and wasted, perhaps my youth that I put on the chopping block, and now it's gone. Now, this person may be worried, can I even ever have kids? I've been with this person and wasted my youth. And like I said, that friend of mine that kind of wasted herself on this relationship, I think she literally can have kids, but she chooses not to. She feels like she's done having kids. She's got the one, and that's it. And that's her walk. That's her choice. I want her to be happy with whatever she chooses. But I want to say, Somebody here is upset with the Queen of Swords about the wasted time. But my message to that person is, do not blame that King of Swords for lying and cheating and wasting your time. I know it seems like you should, and you should be angry for sure, but don't blame him. Because that King of Swords told you what he wanted when he met you. That King of Swords gave you red flags. And I mean red flags. With the Page of Wands, you got wind, word, or red flags knowing this person was a cheater. You knew it. But now you want to act, or this person. Now this person wants to act like, I didn't know. I didn't know they were a cheater. I didn't know they were a liar. I didn't know they were going to waste my time. Yeah, you did. You did. And that's what the Queen of Swords has to remember. You did waste your own time because your intuition and the red flags told you this situation is not trusted. There might have been an ex that came in the picture and said, hey, this person's still sleeping with me, or this person is a cheater and a player. You should be cautious. You should be aware. Or you might just look at this person's history and see how many relationships he or she has been in and seen all the brokenness. So there were red flags. Someone just didn't want to look at it. Again, they thought, I'm different.